Well, hello, siblings. Welcome back to the Art Therapy Guide to Coping Skills. I'm your host, Jason. I'm an art therapist, and a lot of people don't really know that art therapy is a helping profession, a counseling profession. As an art therapist, I worked at an inpatient psychiatric hospital for 10 years. And during my time there, I developed these coloring sheets to help clients and patients immediately engage in art making, no matter what their skill level was. Because healing isn't always verbal. Trauma, grief, and overwhelmed experience can live in the body and nervous system. Art therapy helps people process emotions and memories that may be difficult to put into words. Yeah, so I just wanted to invite you into this special time I get to spend with my friend Chris, making art together, exploring the creative space, and seeing what comes up. This episode is about sensation. It's about finding what feels right to you and trusting your instincts. We often don't make times to just be with our own awareness, allowing it to reflect back some of the lessons that we've learned and insight that we've gained from living life. Hello, siblings. Welcome back to the Art Therapy Guide to Coping Skills. I have a special guest with me today. This is Chris.
Hello, my name's Chris.
Hello, Chris. It's great to see you again.
It's good to see you, my friend.
Yeah, definitely. Would you consider yourself an artist?
No, not at all. Definitely not in the aesthetic sense. I'd say maybe more in the synthesis of music, probably. But even then, I'm a drummer, so most people don't consider drummers to be musicians. So I guess I just like to hit stuff with sticks a lot. But that's therapeutic, and it could be art to some people.
Yeah. So what I would like to do is invite you to try out these different materials.
Okay.
And we're going to use a little bit of mindfulness. Do you know what mindfulness is, or do you have any idea?
I mean, I think what mindfulness means to me is just being aware, just introspective, maybe to a point of kind of taking a look inward to kind of being present in that moment and kind of just feeling your feelings, as opposed to just I feel like you can go on your day-to-day and just kind of be exposed to certain things, just react to certain things, and that's not really being mindful. That's more like being reactionary, I think. And I think for me, being mindful is maybe taking a few minutes or doing an action like walking outside or walking your dog or petting your animal or something like that. We just take a moment to be okay, how am I feeling, or how was my day today, or how do I feel about this particular situation that happened, right? So being kind of intent with a level of introspection, I guess, is how I would put that.
All right, so the first material I want to introduce to you are these chalk pastels. And so the first thing that we're going to do is just choose a color that you feel that you'd want to use. And before you start to use it at all, I want you to just take a moment to just hold it in your hands. And maybe you could just find that sensation of breathing for a second, take a nice deep breath. Yeah, and as we're here, we're sitting with this chalk pastel, and it's probably had a long road to get to us.
That's true, yeah. Very long road.
And that chalk pastel is different than any other piece of chalk pastel. So maybe take a moment to just see its grooves or its shapes, just by looking at it or holding it in your hand. Maybe just relax your shoulders a little bit and just sort of notice this chalk pastel. You can notice if it's smooth or rough.
It's strangely smooth, but has a subtexture. And I just kind of imagine almost taking a bite out of it, or almost the kind of feeling whenever someone's writing on a chalkboard, you can feel that in your teeth, or there's kind of a oral kind of feeling to that. So touching this chalk kind of triggers that a little bit in a way. Not that I want to eat it.
We have this area right here. It says chalk pastel. It has this whole box here, and I want to encourage you to try and press down with your chalk pastel to see what that feels like.
Okay. It's kind of smooth, a little rough going at first to kind of get it to disperse a little bit, but Yeah, it kind of reminds me of playing with chalk as a kid on the sidewalk a little bit. It sort of reminds me of.
Hello, siblings. It's Raja, the meditating mantis, and I've come to visit with you. That insect in your mind, that inner voice that is never quiet. Well, why don't we notice all those thoughts in your mind and breathe from start to finish? When you focus on sensation, you let go of thoughts. Thoughts are just mental events. They come and go, just like sound, just like sensation. Thinking your thoughts are real is like scratching an itch on a phantom limb. Watch your thoughts come and go, and be free. Be free to notice the present moment.
There we go.
All right. What is it like to use chalk pastel?
It's messy. It's a little messy. It's fun. A little nostalgic. I definitely like the way that it can blend color. It's a little forgiving as far as that.
All right, so now we're ready to move on to the
I have to
next
tell you
little
something.
box. What's up?
I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, it's okay.
I've never used oil pastel.
You've never used oil pastel?
I'm a little intimidated.
Okay. All right.
I feel like maybe I'm gonna be like too hard of pressure, maybe. You know, like I don't want to like squish them or ruin them. You know what I mean? But yeah,
So,
it's my first time.
one thing I know about oil pastels is that they can take a lot of pressure.
Okay.
And if they break, that's okay. That's part of the process.
All right.
So I just want
That makes me feel a little better.
I just want to give you permission to know that there's nothing wrong. You can do the thing. However it turns out, it's just fine.
Awesome. So I'll start with the purple here.
And so, before we start, we could take a moment to just look at our pastel. Maybe notice the
Violet.
sensation of breathing. Notice that these pastels have probably traveled a long way to be here in some way. That many people went into the design, the chemistry, the
Label.
and everything that's with us here today. So just taking a moment to say, all right, pastel, we're going to work together today, and we're going to see what you're all about.
All right, let's do something here, pastel. See what you got going on here. Very waxy and smooth. It's kind of fast. It's faster than the other chalk pastel. Yeah, the chalk pastel. It's definitely a lot more. It moves a lot smoother on the paper. Right, there's kind of a fast sensation in a way where it's just like kind of less resistant. You know what I mean? It just kind of wants to go down on the paper a lot easier.
Relaxation takes time. Place your hand over your heart, like me, a meditating mantis, my folded arms pressing against my chest. Feeling the heartbeats, do you notice the beating it takes to be present? What emotions do you feel in your heart? Notice a sensation of gratitude and say, may I be safe.
I think that's about it.
And what was it like to use oil pastel?
It was definitely less of that like kind of gritty sensation. I feel like it was very smooth. It felt almost like just a lot of resistance. Not a lot of resistance. And like also I didn't find myself having to press hard. Again, another nostalgic fulfilling. It kind of reminded me of crayons a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, now color pencils is a medium I have used before.
When was the last time you used some color pencils?
Shoot, it had to be probably. I think maybe there was a D&D character that I made about 10 or 15 years ago where I did like a full color picture with like color pencils and stuff like that. But yeah, it's been a while. No, this one here. Try this one.
So we'll take a moment to look over our pencils that's going to be helping us out a little bit. Just taking a moment to
Very sturdy.
feel its sturdiness.
Yeah, for sure. I like the resistance. Because it kind of lets me get in a little more controlled, more defined, you know what I mean? Because you can really just kind of hold it very steadily and get down to a very fine point with it, you know?
Absolutely. So while we take a moment to maybe you can hold it out in front of you and just feel that whole connection from like your shoulder into the pencil, just loosening it out.
The old pencil trick.
Yes, indeed. It's been.
Am I doing it? Is it doing it? It looks like it's doing it for me.
All right, let's see what a color pencil feels like when you press down with it.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of a mixture between the two materials in a way, where it still has that speed of the oil pastel, but I can still kind of feel it releasing itself into the paper slowly. A little bit more effort to move it around, right? Because it's got a finer point. What I really like to do with color pencils is kind of take them to the side like that and just kind of scribble with them a little bit. You know, just get a little shaky with them, you know? I feel like I like that kind of almost distressed kind of look to it, right? Where it's like there's gaps in there. There's kind of like adds texture to it just a little bit. Where if you're just getting in there like real, like with lines and stuff like that, you know, it's not really adding as much texture. But yeah, this is fun. This is nice.
Find the sensation of breathing. Notice gravity holding you down. And look out toward the horizon. Expand your awareness. Notice your peripheral vision. I'm out there somewhere. I know you're out there somewhere. Give your worries to the net. Thoughts are just mental events.
Yeah, I think that's cool. I like it because it kind of brings back that like distressed kind of, that like frayed almost kind of color, where this kind of like really squishes it all together. And this one you can kind of see where it's like where I pressed a little harder on the napkin and it removed more of it away. You know?
You mentioned like each pencil and each pastel has their own unique story to it.
Yeah.
It shows within the different textures in the paper that human touch that's very natural and exists in the world.
Yeah, for sure. I did want to go over this real quick before we kind of close this out. Add a little, like I did to all the other ones. I want to add like a little border to it a little bit, you know?
Your art materials want to be your friend. They are precious and kind. They are making the ultimate sacrifice. They want to be spread on the paper. They want you to feel. Notice the sensation of breathing.
What was it like to use colored pencils?
The colored pencils, again, very nostalgic. I feel like there's more control, I guess, because it comes down to a finer point. There's a little bit more control about how much color you're putting on the paper, or like how defined or straight, or like how you really want it to flow, I feel like. So I think there's just a little bit more control with it.
All right, are you ready to move on to the last box here?
Yeah.
I have scented markers.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit, son.
So I don't know if you've had some scented markers in your life.
I've definitely fucked with some scented markers before. Yes.
Indeed,
Yes,
indeed.
I have. Let's try the purple one. Purple? It smells like purple. Oh, that's obvious. That's gotta be good.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta be good, for sure. I'm gonna assume this is gonna be licorice, but we'll see.
Yeah,
Definitely licorice, for sure.
you can take a moment to...
Sorry, I'm sniffing up all
I know, right?
licorice.
You're having fun. It's great. Take a moment, breathe naturally. Allow the scents to come into your nostrils.
Cleanse my palate of my last 3 markers, right?
It can get intense quick, so just taking a moment to...
Swiss nostrils. This has gotta be, I think, like a cherry, or like maybe a strawberry, maybe? Cherry or strawberry?
Cherry, you got it. All right. Would you like to try and see what the sensation of marker feels like on the paper?
Yeah, let's do it. Do this whole section. Yeah, that feels kind of reminds me of the chalk again, where I could just feel it very gritty. It is kind of giving me that same sensation again, that like tickle in my teeth kind of sensation. It's very wet. It's very wet. I feel like if I would have gone over it too many times, it might start like really soaking through or ripping the paper, right? So maybe a gentler hand or less marker might be good on that one. Let's see.
Let's spend some time in the flow state. Recharge your heart with compassion. Just breathe from start to finish. Notice the sensation in the present moment. I appreciate all of your attention. Your attention is a precious gift.
What was it like to use the markers, the scented markers?
The markers remind me of being really young and using them at like church camp and for school and stuff like that. Like I'm pretty sure I had some at some point.
Yeah.
I was really young.
What was it like to engage like your sense of smell in addition to like those sensations of like touch and other like stuff we've been working on here?
Yeah, I think it was interesting. It was definitely a completely different experience from all the other experiences. Like, I definitely feel like smell, it heightens that sense where it's like, yes, there's some nostalgia of just playing with art and doing that, but I think that adds like an extra layer to it where it kind of can remind you of certain other things as well.
It says, when you make art, the art becomes valuable because you are valuable. No one can put a price on feeling accomplishment.
I think there's an intrinsic value for me of taking the time to slow down and taking that time to be mindful. So at this company I worked at, we had swings in the building. And we used to have this joke where it's like, you can't be pissed off on a swing. Like, you really can't be mad when you're coloring, right? If you're like really in it, you know what I mean? Like in what you're doing, even if it's something like this where it's just like freelance, right? You're not even trying to color in the lines, it's just like, but you're really being in it and like kind of getting out of where you are and like kind of meeting yourself where you're at in that moment and just be like, here's a little nice distraction. Here's something that will give back to you for your day, right? And then you can go on and do whatever it is that you have to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I like how you mentioned that reactivity of like noticing how you're reacting to the materials gives you some distance from like real world issues, giving you that chance to slow down and get perspective on things a little bit.
Reacting to your emotions isn't the same as feeling them.
Does your opinion or idea of mindfulness change at all while doing this?
Maybe going more into the tactile sensation is a little bit deeper than I get with my mindfulness sometimes. I think I definitely try to be like, am I thirsty? Am I hungry? Like those kind of like very base level sensations, but it's not like, damn, am I tired today? Or like, am I feeling achy? Have I gotten a chance to take a walk or stretch? Or like, have I just been sitting down all day? You know what I mean? But like taking that opportunity to really be in my body.
Having permission to know that like anyone could do this and you don't have to be an expert. and it doesn't have to be perfect, and just however it comes out is just fun.
Well, I don't want to suck and go up there and be embarrassed, but it's like everyone sucks in their first band, dog.
Yeah.
Like that's your rite to passage. You got to do it, and then you get better. And the next time, it's not as scary.
Well, I really appreciate you doing with this. We're gonna end it here for this one.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate you. It's a nice gift.
Awesome.
Are you gonna keep this?
No, you can have it.
So I hope you enjoyed watching this episode. I'm always trying to improve and do things better. I know the sound wasn't perfect, and I'll try and do that better next time. If you have any other suggestions or anything you'd like to share with me, please leave a comment. I'm really looking forward to getting to know some of you and build a little community here.